God bless you, global Christian friends. We bless the American government. It says, our fathers did eat manna, that's John 6:31. In the desert, it is written, he gave them bread from heaven. The word manna means what? W-H-A-T. And what does that mean? That means that even today, no, and I can tell you quite frankly speaking that David called it corn from heaven. Heaven's corn. So there is no one out there across the world in the history of the sages that know what manna is. Now, I want to make it quite clear that manna began on the 16th of Iyar, the 16th day of Iyar in the Hebrew calendar, and it ended, guess when? The same time, but when? In Joshua chapter 5, verse 12. So you know when and where manna started, and you know when and where manna ended. It's kind of like tongues. They're going to cease too, you know. Kind of like prophecy. They're going to cease too, you know. Manna ceased, it said in Joshua chapter 5, verse 4. Read it for yourself. Good thing about the Lord, He's feeding you. You ain't got to receive it, but He is feeding those that are hungry. And I can say one thing. We're going to show that the bread that we eat, we know. That's why you're going to find out what Jesus is going to say in the next verse. 32. Then Jesus said unto them in verse 32, verily, verily, I say unto you, Moses gave you not T-H-A-T. Everybody say that. That bread. Why that bread? Because manna means what? So the difference is between what bread and that bread. What bread, they don't know today. That bread, we know today. We know the name of it. His name is Jesus. So we are up on those that are still pursuing that which they don't know, but has ceased already. God bless them out there across the world. Moses gave you not that bread from heaven. Here we go. He said, but my Father, watch this, watch this, watch this. My Father giveth, everybody say give it. My Father giveth you, now watch this very closely, the true bread from heaven. Now watch this. For the bread of God is he that cometh. Everybody say cometh. Notice the difference? Giveth and cometh. Big difference. Bread that is given from heaven and bread that cometh down from heaven. And you must understand this kind of knowledge and this kind of teaching. Otherwise, you don't have the knowledge that God himself wants you to have properly and truthfully, because his son here is teaching. The bread of God is he which cometh down from heaven and give life unto the world. So the Father giveth you the true bread from heaven. That's the true bread from heaven. You're the other kind of bread. The bread of God is he which cometh down from heaven and give life unto the world. Understand the difference? The bread that cometh and the bread that is given. Ah, what a difference that is. Oh, the liberty of the bread that is given is greater than the bread that cometh. I can tell you without a doubt, because it takes decision and it takes judgment in order to be able to do so. Cometh down, it just come because of conditions and circumstances. And you must understand that. And verse 34, they said unto him, Lord, evermore give us this bread. Now, look what Jesus said to them in verse 35. I am the bread of life, like I am the light of life, like I am the light of the world, like I am the good shepherd, like I am the true vine, like I am everything and all things. But here he said, I am the bread of life. Now, he that cometh to me shall never hunger, and he that believeth on me shall never thirst. Think about that statement. He that cometh to me shall never hunger, and he that believeth on me shall never thirst. Think about that. You know what it means to never hunger? You know what it means to never thirst. If you don't, you better go right back and read the 4th chapter of John. Let me just make sure we got the right verse, 4 and 14. Because in 4 and 14, this is what we read. But whoso drinketh of the water that I shall give him shall never thirst. All right, John 4 and 14. But the water that I shall give him shall change you and make you become a well of water springing up into everlasting life. You imagine what that looks like? You being a well of water springing up into everlasting life, attaching yourself to everlasting life and springing up into everlasting life. You need to see that. You need to understand that. You need to display that. You need to claim that. That's knowledge. That's your connection with everlasting life. That's just one. Think about that. Springing up. And that's not difficult. Remember what Jesus did when he came down from the mountain? The Bible said great power, great virtue emanated from him. All right? He was a dynamo. All right? When he came down, everybody sought to touch him because power, virtue, plasma went out of him. And we see what he said here. My God. Going back to verse 35, 635. I am the bread of life. He that cometh to me shall never hunger, and he that believeth on me shall never thirst. But I said unto you, that ye also have seen me and believed not. Think about that. Ye that have seen me have seen the Father. How sayest thou then, show us the Father? All right? Verse 37. All that the Father giveth me shall come to me. Watch this. And him that cometh to me I will in no wise cast out. And we are going to continue this the next time. God bless you, Global Christian friend.